How transparent is the Trump administration? You got Scott, you got Jameson, you got Marco. We're not saying you please don't ask this question. You can ask anything you want. There's never been anything like this. Do you agree with that?
100% I agree with that, President Trump. And let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think that this is the most transparent presidential administration in the history of the United States of America? Because I sure think it does. Now, you could argue maybe with the help of social media and the help of the digital revolution and everything that's been happening and the meme wars, which Trump is winning, I mean, unequivocally, that probably helps a lot. But I think even without all that, I think Trump would be holding press conferences just as frequently as he has been and letting the American people know exactly what he's doing. The man is as authentic and real as they come. And in today's video, holy Macca, Damian Nut, do I have a wingdinger for you? I don't think I've used that term in 60 years. But my goodness, today, Trump just absolutely pressed, I think, the final button on the ever fragile, talentless, hackless, colorless, humorless temperament of the Democrats by hinting that he might, just might, maybe he's not ruling out, maybe he is, he might go for it in 2028. Trump 2028? Oh my goodness. The reactions are, let's just say this, devastation has run amok. By the way, when is the TDS vaccine coming out? Because some of these people, we absolutely need it. Holy mackerel. Okay, so I'm going to share with you one of the most powerful, trolling, triggering, meltdown Democrat press conferences that President Trump has ever held. It was on Air Force One. And he talks about everything that I'm talking about. But before I get to that, just stick around. I promise you it's going to be worth it. Before I get to that, we have to cover some business items. Let's get rid of the garbage, and then we'll end with a little bit of sunshine, laughter, humor, and everything you love about America. So we've got an update. This is actually good news. We've got an update on this absolute heathen who, remember this guy right here, this Chicago protester who actually turned out to be somebody who worked at Wilbur Wright College. His name is Moises Bernal. This is the guy who literally, I'm trying to verbalize this, right? Because they took down the last video I did of this absolute desecration of a human being. But essentially, this guy Moises, he was actually calling for people to arm themselves and basically inciting them to go out and execute harm on ICE agents. And when I say harm, think of the worst possible substitute for harm. That's what this is how it's so bad that I can't even play the audio. You can see the video right here coming on the screen. I can't even play the audio. But this deranged lunatic, we have some good news, has finally been fired. Now, I think it should be a lot worse than that. He should be getting a lot worse punishment. I think he should face some sort of criminal prosecution, but at the very least, with the help of a lot of smart, amazing, independent media, such as myself and so many others on X, YouTube, Rumble, and everywhere, we finally galvanized, got enough attention on this guy, and he has since been fired. But I think he needs a lot worse, but that's a good start. Okay, next, as we enter day 27 of this totally unavoidable government shutdown, which is costing so many federal employees their paychecks, air traffic controllers, military personnel, government employees alike. Check this out. One of the largest federal workers union, AFGE, has now called for the Democrats to end the Schumer shutdown. This union represents 820,000 federal and DC government workers, and they are urging the Democrats, not the Republicans, because the Republicans have a clean CR bill, the Democrats to cut the crap and pass the GOP's clean CR bill. This demand comes shortly after news broke that thousands of federal workers are standing in long lines at their local food banks without pay. Check this out.
Federal workers waiting in long lines at this food bank in southern Maryland.
I would have never thought in a million years that I would have been in this position to have to go to a food bank.
Denise Blake says she drove over an hour to get here. When she finally arrived, they had run out of food.
We have a cart ready for you out front.
Fortunately, she did not leave empty-handed, but she still faces the harsh reality of not knowing how she's going to feed her family while she's not getting paid during the government shutdown.
I don't want my daughter to see me crying.
Blake's story is like so many others who are waiting to get paid as Congress stalls to pass a new spending plan.
I haven't gotten a paycheck this month, so the free groceries is very important, very helpful.
More than 1 million federal workers are not receiving pay right now. Many missed their first full paycheck Friday, while others will feel the loss early next week, depending on the agency.
Than 40 million people, that's roughly 1 in every 8 Americans, are bracing to see their food assistance run out later this week, creating a food crisis some experts say could be the worst since the Great Depression, all because of the government shutdown. The U.S. Agriculture Department, which administers the SNAP or Food Snap program, announcing, quote, the well has run dry.
Everyone's worried that, they're not going to be able to feed their families.
It's just absolutely crazy that this could totally be avoidable. So this AFGE is an organization. It's the American Federal Government Employees Union. It's the largest federal workers union. They overwhelmingly donate to Democrats. So they've obviously had enough. And this comes after Democrat House Minority Whip admitted in an interview that her party is using suffering families as leverage against Republicans. I know you guys have probably seen that video. SNAP EBT benefits are set to run out on the 1st of November if the government remains closed, and millions will go without food. Here's what Everett Kelly, American Federation of Government Employees president, wrote in a statement. There is no clear end in sight. It's time to pass a clean continuing resolution and end this shutdown today. No half measures and no gamesmanship. This isn't going away like the Democrats anticipated it would. The Democrats are keeping the government shut down because they believe it will help them in the upcoming elections on the 4th of November. I want to get your thoughts in the comments down below, but while you're doing that, check out this clip from Speaker Mike Johnson, who's super fired up here, basically saying Chuck Schumer can shove it and he's not going to engage in shady, quote, backroom, end quote, deals to reopen the government. Check this out.
Again, in healthcare, you will improve its quality and you will bring down its cost. All of these are important components of that, and we have a lot of work to do, but it is not a simple thing, and I am not going to go in a back room with Chuck Schumer, like he keeps demanding, with 4 people and make this decision. I will not do it. It's not appropriate. It's not right. It's too complicated for that. We need all the members to have buy-in. We need to have these healthy debates and discussions, but we can't do it while they're shutting the government down to appease the Marxist. That's it. That should be your headline.
This is why I'm asking, like, when is the TDS vaccine going to come out? Because this has never, ever happened. Not even the GOP, not even the old neocon rhino, useless Republicans have ever done anything like this. Holding Americans hostage. You want air traffic controllers to come to work when they're not getting paid? The most stressed out job literally out there. I mean, one of the top 2, 3, if not the top stressful job or occupation to have as an air traffic controller. You want those guys to go to work unpaid with that level of intensity, that level of stress that job demands? I don't think so. So this has never, ever happened before. There's a viral video of Obama. I'm not going to play it because I can't stand listening to the divider in chief, but there's a viral video of Obama during his shutdown saying the exact same thing. If you want to debate healthcare policy or you want to debate any policy, that's totally fine, but don't use a shutdown as leverage. This is why I call them the Hippocrats, because their hypocrisy knows no bounds. When they breathe, raw sewage comes out, because every time they breathe, they just lie, and lie. If you're affected by this, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you, as well as let me know where you're joining me from, what city, what state, what country. I know I say this a lot, but I love hearing from you guys. What time of day are you watching this? Are you watching this at dinner time, breakfast, AM, PM? Let me know in the comments down below. I love hearing from you. I've got one more item before we get to the really, really good stuff here regarding Charlie Kirk's assassin type Tyler Robinson. A judge has just made a decision on whether or not this guy can wear civilian clothes in court and whether cameras can be allowed in the courtroom. Check this out.
Court orders as follows. Defendant's motion to strike the sheriff's response is granted. Defendant's motion to appear in civilian clothing is granted. Defendant's motion to appear without restraints is denied. The standing decorum order will be amended to prohibit any visual recording or photography of the defendant's restraints or of the defendant entering or exiting the courtroom. This constitutes the order of the court, and a written order and ruling will be published shortly. Both defense and prosecution have stipulated to vacate the October 30th hearing. Additional time is needed to complete discovery and to file motions addressing whether non-evidentiary hearings should be conducted virtually, whether to impose any blanket restrictions on cameras in the courtroom, and any other motions that may arise. This matter is set.
So there you have it. So this absolute cretin, Tyler Robinson, is going to be able to wear civilian clothes, which I don't really care. I just want this guy to be tried. I want him to get convicted. I want there to be swift justice for Charlie Kirk's family, for Erica Kirk and his children, and every American who's suffering right now. We need to send a very, very strong message that these kind of things are not only not going to be tolerated, not going to be allowed, but you're going to face the harshest of the harshest of the harshest penalties at the fullest extent of our law and justice system. So I just want this to get finished. I just want this to get done. I don't know what kind of trial, what kind of defense this guy can mount, unless there's some sort of conspiracy and there's other names and other people and there's a higher chain or hierarchy of people involved. That's fine. I want to know all that as long as the truth comes out. But all evidence and all known details seem to point that this guy acted partly alone, if not all alone. So that's the latest on that. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Okay. Are you ready for the good stuff, y'all? Okay, this stuff right here is the stuff of just pure mastery. President Trump, coming off the heels of his meme that triggered so many leftists, where he was flying, over the ridiculous, imaginary, no brains protesters. No brains. I don't call them no kinks. No brains, because they don't have any. Dropping fecal matter on all of these guys, which went viral, absolutely drew such ire and bitterness from these crybaby, diaper dandy, adult petulant children. I want you to check this out right here. President Trump talking about a potential run and then hinting at who could be the ticket in 2028. Watch this.
Well, we have great people. I don't have to get into that, but we have one of them standing right here. We have JD, obviously. The vice president is great. I think Marco's great. I think, I'm not sure if anybody would run against us. I think if they ever formed a group, it would be unstoppable. I really do. I believe that. I would love to do it. I have my best numbers ever. It's very terrible. I have my best numbers. If you read it, am I not ruling it out? I mean, you'll have to tell me. All I can tell you is that we have a great group of people, which they don't. They have Jasmine Crockett, a low IQ person. They have AOC's low IQ. You give her an IQ test. Have her pass like the exams that I decided to take when I was at Walter Reed. Those are very hard. They're really aptitude tests, I guess, in a certain way, but they're cognitive tests. Let AOC go against Trump. Let Jasmine go against Trump. I don't think Jasmine, the first couple of questions are easy. A tiger, an elephant, a giraffe, When you get up to about 5 or 6, and then when you get up to 10 and 20 and 25, they couldn't come close to answering any of those questions.
I just love it. I just think there's no way in a million years I will ever be convinced that he's running in 2028. I definitely think J.D. Vance and whoever he wants, maybe. And by the way, let me know in the comments, who would be a perfect ticket for 2028 if Trump doesn't run, which I don't think he's going to run. I think, J.D. Vance Gabbard, Tulsi Gabbard. Ooh, what about Tulsi Gabbard, Pam Bondi? What about Tulsi Gabbard for president and JD Vance's VP pick? I think maybe the strongest ticket would be Vance and Rubio, but I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. So I think this is President Trump being the master, brilliant, always on top of it, 100% talented troll that the leftists, the liberals, and the Democrats have ever seen. He knows how to trigger them better than anybody. And so but it was interesting. There was a little subtle hint. He's like, well, am I ruling it out? I don't know. You'll have to tell me. He kind of avoided that because he knows he's being watched. Every molecule, every gesture, everything he says is being watched so intently, so closely. And already you've got a litany of liberals, including Newscomb and Pelosi and all the propaganda media just losing their mind, literally losing their mind. You see, I told you, De Niro, Holly weirdos. I told you he's never going to leave office. I told you, just like they said that in 2020, he's never going to leave office, which he did. And you want to talk about peaceful transfer of power. You know how they always mention this? The guy who 100% did not submit to a peaceful transfer of power was President Obama. Yeah, not by a long shot. You know what he did? He may have left the Oval Office, but it wasn't a peaceful transfer of power. You know what he did? And we now have proof by the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, and the intelligence agencies. He architected a coup on a sitting president right before he left for office. So there was nothing peaceful. We went through that for 10 years, from 2015, 2016 to now, and they still are propagating it in some instances, even though it's been 1 billion% proven false. I mean, the Mueller report, for crying out loud, the Steele dossier, Brennan, so many people, whistleblowers have come out and said Brennan is an absolute megalomaniac, unqualified mook, which we all kind of know that. That wasn't a peaceful transfer of power. So I just love it when he triggers these leftists and these liberals. But one person who thinks that Trump isn't trolling and who's speaking with 100% certainty and confidence that Trump is going to be president in 2028 is this guy right here. Check this out.
Well, he's going to get a third term. So Trump 28, Trump is going to be president in 28, and people just ought to get accommodated with that.
So what about the 22nd Amendment?
There's many different alternatives. At the appropriate time, we'll lay out what the plan is, but there's a plan, and President Trump will be the president in 28. We had longer odds in 16 and longer odds in 24 than we got in 28. And President Trump will be the president of the United States, and the country needs him to be president of the United States. We have to finish what we started. And the way we finish it through Trump is a vehicle. I know this will drive you guys crazy, but he's a vehicle of divine providence. He's an instrument. He's very imperfect. He's not churchy, not particularly religious, but he's an instrument of divine will. And you can tell this of how he's pulled this off. We need him for at least one more term.
Wow. There's somebody who sounds really, really confident. That's Steve O'Banion, who was a former advisor, and a lot of people say was somebody who was highly responsible, as well as a few other insiders, to Trump's run. I mean, he was the main advisor, the main consultant, political consultant, sort of like the Carville version for Bill Clinton back in 2016. So I agree. He is definitely an instrument of divine will. What happened in Butler, we were live during Butler, and the fact that he stood up and screamed, "Fight, fight, fight," defiantly was one of the most badass moments since Theodore Roosevelt got shot during that speech he gave when he was running as a progressive. It was one of the most it's definitely the most badass moment in my lifetime, but one of the most badass moments in U.S. political history. And so I agree with him there, but man, boy, it's hard to deny the confidence that Steve is exhibiting there, but I'd love to get your thoughts on this. I think he's just trolling. Do you think Trump would actually do it? Do you think Trump would actually run in 2028? And do you think he could win? Interesting. I'd love to get your thoughts on this. Please, if you love America, tap that thumbs up. Our mission here is to make common sense go viral. You would help us out immeasurably. Even if you're watching on your TV, you can do it on your remote. So please tap that thumbs up, share this, comment, let me know where you're joining me from. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here, just in case you missed it. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It's absolutely free, so you don't miss it. Hit the bell notification. And as always, may God bless you, and may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.